Okay, so if I were to have to pick it, let's see if that was a doable option. Okay, so now I've got my lock in my hand, I can pretty much have a look, and as suspected before, I couldn't actually get my pick all the way in. You see at the back here, they hadn't taken that cut out, so which means all my spacings are completely off. So I can get a feel on it, if you can see that. Feel the first disc is probably in the second spot. It's actually still picked, so I can't really get a read on it. So position 1 becomes position 2 if they haven't taken that out, but I can't get a read on it. So unfortunately, because they're springy all over the place, unfortunately the only thing now I can do is take this out. Take this plug out and read it that way. So this is one that the Lishi couldn't do, but it was easier to pick with. Okay, now we just need a key. Oh, there's a key. Oh. There's a key. Ooh, okay, so 8. Numbers are all there. 798. Okay, let's cut it. Because it's only 3 cuts, I'll probably just cut the key down 3 cuts. That should work. Piping key. 7, 9, 8. And we might as well go 8, 8, 8, 8. Okay, so now we have our key. So we only need the first 3 cuts. I'll put it in there, see if it works, and it's good. So our code is good. Now we just cut down the back of the key. A couple of ways we can do that. This way is probably a bit rough. So we only need the first 3 cuts. So we could just give it I'll give it a bit of extra room so we don't wreck it. Oh, I should have used bigger stud cutters. Okay, so there's my key now. Fix the ramp. Okay. There's my key. Look how short that looks. Goes in. Okay. Okay, put the plug back in. Okay, back in the car now, back in the air conditioning, on the way to the next one. So that was a patio bolt. For most people who don't know that particular type of patio bolt, that's made by Widco, which is owned by Lockwood, which is owned by Assa Abloy, and that particular keyway was what we call an LW5. You probably call it KS1 in the States. Now that patio bolt takes a regular size key, but to do that you actually have to take out a little plastic section at the back and use a packer to allow it to accommodate the key. In that scenario there, they were just using the standard key it comes with, which is actually just like a 3-pin LW4 or C4 key. So it's nothing special. The only thing different about it is that it's got two wafers or 2 discs per slot. So in position 1, chamber 1, you'd have 2 discs, one going left, one going right, and they're only half discs too. They're like little horseshoes. You know, it's not the best system. The broach has a lot of movement in it. So anyway, that was the first time I used the Lishi pick on, like, trying to pick a waif lock, and it seemed to work quite well. What I noticed is as well, we're starting off at 9, 8, you know, we're starting down the bottom, and it was quite easy to actually find the combination, so that was good. If I was trying to pick it with a electric pick gunner or a hand pick or anything, it might have taken a little bit longer, because my technique is to go for the, you know, start at the higher numbers, not the real low cuts. But anyway, so we'll see how that goes. All in all, it was went pretty good, and I was able to get the lock open using the Lishi pick. But the problem was that the spacing was actually offset with the Lishi pick, because they hadn't put the packer in the back, and because they didn't take that little triangle section out. I couldn't get a full-size key in there, which means the pick isn't going to go in there too good. Now, what I was able to do is just push it all the way in, and I started off at the 2 position. I could feel the spring-loaded wafers or spring-loaded discs in there, so I was able to pick it from there. So that was quite easy to find, and I had to actually remove it to make a key. The other thing you saw me do was just put my ladder, a good old milk crate. You can always find one of them, and that was all I needed. I asked a serviceman there if I could borrow his ladder, and he refused. And I thought, geez, that's not very tradey-like. Somebody asked to borrow your ladder, that's okay, as long as you're not borrowing your good tools. But I mean, borrow a ladder, borrow an extension cord, you know, it's no big deal if it's only for 5 minutes. But anyway, some people are not all nice to fellow tradespeople. He wasn't really a tradie, he was more of a cleaner. Maybe that was the problem. He hasn't earned his stripes. So yeah, with the actual key, I cut the key down, I cut the tip of the key down, and they went in quite nicely. I gave them a little bit of lube as well, and they worked and turned really well. So I was happy with that point. The next thing is you saw me do is you saw me I marked the actual lock with a key number. Because it's a C4 key, for anybody to be able to get access to it, they've got to have almost a key machine and know what a key number is. And they also need to decode it. So for that one there, it was 3 digits, which are direct cuts to the actual key. So for example, I think it was 788 or something along those lines. So I put 788 and then C4, which stands for the key blank. But if somebody was to look at that, it would be 788 C4. They take that in anywhere. People say, what's that? You know, what key code is that? But to any other locksmith that now looks at that, they'll be able to say, okay, it's one of those 3 cut keys, and there's the cut. Also, there was a left and a right one holding that man cover on, and I knew that whoever had put it on, most likely a locksmith, would have gotten key to like. So I was lucky in the sense that all I had to do was make keys to one, and then the second one would be operating on that as well. So that was a bit of a bonus, you know. Everything was good after that. Anyway, so that's making a key using picking with the Lishi pick, and cutting a key to code for a Wheatco patio bolt, which is also very similar to the Lockwood one, and making a key for it. Three cut key. They also have multiple, just for reference, they also have all different window locks in that same key, so you can actually key up the rest of your house to it. So you could basically have your patio bolts, your window locks, your screen door cylinders, your front deadlocks, your mailbox. You can have everything on the one C4 or KS1 key. So that's why they have those patio bolts, and all the window lock range they have are all compatible with that. So that's a bit of a bonus. So if you want somebody who only wants to carry one key for their entire house, you can do it with those type of locks. Okay, thanks for watching.